Alright guys, today we have something so cool to show you. This is the Slayground DLC for MX versus ATV Legends, and I do believe it releases on this coming Tuesday, but we get to take an early look at it, and Rainbow Studios was nice enough to allow us to show you early, but we kind of have to show you a certain part of it, okay? So there's a bunch of stuff to go over in the video, but since I can't do an entire overview of the Slayground DLC here, I wanted to show you it at least, right? So we have some cool shots to show you of the entire compound, and it's freaking awesome. There's 2 motocross tracks, the 110 track, I believe, the freestyle ramps, a bunch of different lines, some crazy big jumps. There's just so much to go over. So the main part of the video we're going to focus on is the main motocross track, and then we have some extra stuff to show you too, but first I want to show you the motocross track. So we have 2 laps to show you. They're 2 completely different laps because there's so many different ways around the track. Let's jump into it and check it out. Alright, so here we go. We are jumping into the Slayground DLC, starting with the main motocross track here. We have 2 different laps to show you, and they're completely different because there are so many different ways you can ride this track. Now, this jump, you have that wheelie thing. I don't know what you call it. Sorry if I don't know. That's kind of in the middle, but it's because I'm in free ride. If you race a track or whatever, time attack it, it isn't there. But I wanted to do it in free ride because I wanted to show you, the way the track really is. So it was a bit weird jumping past that, but it's just because I'm in free ride. So you don't have to have it there, but you can if you want. Now, this track was surprisingly difficult. It was huge jumps, but they were full send jumps, right? But not completely full send jumps. Like, you had to scrub just right or let off the throttle, just the right amount. They were basically full send jumps, but not fully. So that made the timing a bit difficult. I mean, it isn't a bad thing. It just made the track kind of tricky. But this first lap was kind of the main way I take it. You see the huge jumps. This huge quad before the finish line is insane. It was so crazy. The jumps are so big. There's so much to do. I wish I could have showed you the full compound. We probably will do a full compound video eventually, maybe the day the DLC actually releases. But for today, we kind of focus not just the track. I do have more stuff to show you, but most of it, like I said, we're honing in on the motocross track here. Here we take the sum of the alternate lines to show you. And I want to point out one thing because it's during the intermission we have. I'm just calling it an intermission because it's about halfway through the video. The extra stuff that I did, technically it is part of the motocross track, but that berm there, you can actually jump over it from the main motocross track that we're on here and then take a completely different line. A different way, not even really part of this track, but it uses part of this track to flow around. And it kind of reminds me of like a mini roller coaster madness almost. It's crazy. It's so fun. There's so much to do. And I do want to point out at the very end before that massive quad, this time I do believe we hit a quad here too, which this was probably the easier line, surprisingly, because it wasn't the timing on it wasn't so bad. When you really have to let off a bit is when the timing would get really tricky. But this part coming up right after this double, this thing here served as like 3 different things. It was a landing for the way we take it, and then a landing for a different way I show you with a completely different part of the track. And then it was, if you hit it coming back the opposite direction, it was a jump. So here's our intermission, and we hit this bad boy. There's no way this is a real jump, right? No way. I mean, Axel Hodges is a beast. He is a monster, but that's crazy. That's crazy. That has to be not real. If you're familiar with the compound, let me know in the comments. And then we have the wall jump here, and the reason I show you this is because it uses our finish line landing kind of to have it built into the side, and then behind us would be the, I believe, the 110 track. So yeah, that's why we show you this. It's really cool. It works really good. It was one of the first things I wanted to check out in the compound. It just takes a bit of getting used to, right? But it does work really well. So here, this is what I was talking about. So you saw this part. We hit this part already in the video. But if you keep going, you can double over the berm. And then now you're on a completely different line, not really connected to the motocross track we were on. I mean, it kind of comes back to that, and you'll see what I mean. But this is so cool. It's so cool how the compound is laid out and how well Rainbow Studios was able to capture that for the game. It's so fun. There was just so much to do. I can't really say that enough. There is so much to do. And then here's that ramp that we almost hit when we hit that section. We jump over that section. I said that one jump was like 3 different things for whatever. And then we jump over the big quad. I'm not sure if this is the way it's supposed to work, but this is the way I do it. And then it would take you into the freestyle area. But I do stop here because, like I said, I was kind of limited to not showing everything, right? You guys can check that out when the DLC actually releases. So leaving you some stuff to check out. Here we hit it again, and basically the same, but the track, like I said, or maybe I didn't say it, but there is a second track. It's more rough and more like trails, but it is a track. You can race it. You can race this track and that track, the second one that I don't really show you. And the parts of the track like this that don't really connect, you know, they're not really the track, but they kind of veer off of the tracks. There's tons of this stuff to do, tons of massive jumps. I hit so many huge, unbelievably big sends that I couldn't show you, and it's so crazy. Now, I do believe we do try to do some Axel Hodges stuff here. I know I'm not very good at the freestyle, and I apologize to Axel Hodges for not being very good at it, but I did want to get some of it in there, and so we do try and get some backflips and some tricks and try to get some cool whips in, but we're not the best at it. I get that. I understand. I'm not very good at it, but I was trying my best. But if you're a freestyle guy, if you've been waiting for a fun, open, free ride map that has a bunch of stuff to do in it, because we have already mentioned that the free ride maps in the base game are fun. They are fun. There is some stuff to do, but not enough. This map makes up for it. And you might say it is DLC. Oh yeah, you can jump this kind of like hip double. I just figured that out at the very end before I was getting ready to quit. So again, many different lines. You've seen many different ways around this track. Some extra stuff added into it. So much to do, but like I was saying, if you're a free ride guy, freestyle guy, and you felt left out, they really got you here. They got you covered. Now, it is DLC. I don't know how much it will be individually if you bought it without the track pass. The track pass, I believe, is, what is it, 25 bucks? And, you know, I don't have a problem with it. It has all the Pro Motocross Replica National tracks. It has the awesome Supercross World Tour tracks, and then it has this compound, which is one of the coolest things I've seen in a moto game. You might say, well, we do have mods for this, for MX bikes, MX Simulator, whatever. You know, that's cool, but a lot of players play on console, right? They don't have access to this cool stuff, so to have it here, I did try doing a stoppie there. I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. I couldn't do it, but I tried. And then hopping off, but they don't have access to this cool stuff, and here you have it now. So yeah, awesome stuff. Probably the day the DLC comes out, we will do a full overview of the compound. If you're curious before buying or whatever, or don't have the game or just want to see it, we probably will do a full overview showing the other track, the freestyle stuff, the pit bike track or 110 track, whatever. The huge sends you can hit, the trails, just so much stuff to do, man. I'm freaking out because of how good this is. It's so fun. It's so fun to just do anything. There's so much to do in the game in this specific Slayground DLC. It was really well done. Probably the best thing they've done as far as added content. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, how you feel about it, what you think, and all that stuff. Got to get the no footer. I am sorry again, our freestyle is bad. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.